15-year-old, 15-year hunter. I've hunted so hard. It's like a passion in our family, and it's almost a spiritual thing to us to be in the woods, and the kids do it. And I've hunted really, really hard for 15 years and gotten about 4 does. So I'm proud of the does. The meat was great. Now you're telling me I'm going to be out there after 15 years and in the bad weather and being sick and whatever, that you just love hunting, and that 6-point buck is going to come in, and I cannot take it because of your rule, and this is something good for the beginning hunters and us people who are passionate. You're going to tell me I can't take that 6-point I've waited 15 years for?
Yeah, DMU, Clare County 118, Classic Case had antler point restrictions mandated for 5 years. Lynn Gould wanted me, he couldn't be here tonight, wanted me to bring it up. They lived with him and dealt with him for 5 years and threw him out. Lynn said it pretty well destroyed their deer hunting.
Yeah, we're glad you
Let's
brought
take a
that
look
up,
at
Bob. Brought it up
This-
with Lansing, so we
This
investigated
is from
it.
the report on DMU 118. They didn't throw it out, it just didn't reach the 66%. 57% of hunters voted for it. 40% voted against it. So most hunters wanted to continue APRs there, but we have a very large hurdle to hit 66%. So saying that hunters threw it out there as a generalization is just not true. Most hunters wanted to keep going.
It got thrown
And
out.
you know that.
It's important to understand too that Lynn still advocates gut shooting genetically inferior bucks so they can run off into the woods and
No,
suffer
Lynn
and
doesn't,
die.
and he was
He said that they nearly eliminated that practice.
Exactly, he didn't say he recommended it or did it. I got his quote.
Yeah, I've got
And
it.
also, at the end of that 5-year
But Bob, you
period,
you acknowledge that most hunters in Clare and DMU 118 wanted to continue the APR.
but they didn't. And at the
Only
end,
because of the high hurdle that had to be
Okay.
reached. So
That's
please don't
what it's
mischaracterize
for.
this
Yeah.
as was
And
done in this
that's
state.
fine.
Okay.
How long ago was it? When was that survey taken?
let me
2006,
finish. It was-
or 2003.
And then, but at the end of the day, we said at the Wildlife Committee meeting, while the wildlife biologists told us that their data for check stations and all the data that they had, because we had asked them to get it, and they said, Clue said there was not 1 inch added to the width of any deer that they collected after that 5-year period, nor was there 1 full point added.
He's talking about within the age structure. So when you look at 1.5-year-olds versus 2.5 versus 3.5, within that age class, because one of the things that biologists worry about under APRs is selecting out the larger antlered deer. So one of the things they looked at is, let's look at 3.5-year-old bucks and see if the 3.5-year-old bucks that are being killed now have smaller antlers than the 3.5-year-old bucks that were killed before. Those are the numbers you're talking about. But in fact, the harvest of older bucks went way up, which means the harvest of the larger antlered bucks went way up too. So you're using information that's very specific to generalize about.
Okay, the check station data on an average deer did not increase 1 inch in width or a point. And when it was all over, Lynn said, what we went through devastated families, destroyed hunting camps, people, and it was the worst 5 years of his life, however you want to characterize Lynn Gould.
About 57% of the hunters
Excuse
wanted
me.
to keep going with this
I'll be
disaster.
done in just a minute.
Well, you've been
Lynn
running
Gould,
on and on.
Lynn
Bob,
Gould is
so-
probably the most
Did you-
knowledgeable private landowner on APRs in the state of Michigan. He is, because they went through it. Here's somebody that experienced it for 5 years, said it devastated their family farm and their family hunting.
Again, we don't have any control over any of that.
Right, and I have one question. In Lansing, Brent said that there would be 1,000 surveys sent out per area, and the gentleman down here said 2,000.
It's going to be
I've
2,000.
heard that discrepancy too. I know the information I am getting about it talks about 2,000 per.
And that information came from Brent, so either Brent made an error in speaking, or they changed it between then and now. Perhaps based on some feedback. Who knows?
That's it.
And they don't support this initiative, and QDMA
Who said they
supports the
don't?
voluntary.
Who said they don't support it?
You know, if MAR wants to send us money, we'll take it.
No. No, you told me they
Anybody-
didn't ask you
No.
specifically.
Go
if
back
the
and read it. That's not what I
You gave me
said.
a one-word answer. No.
Go back and read it. You're mischaracterizing the conversation.
I can
Do we have other questions that are relevant to the topic?
Thank you.